Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Prime Time Newscast in the English language and Canal, the International. I'm called Morinzi at Top Stories. The city of Boya in the southwest region has in recent weeks seen numerous incidents of violence associated with the ongoing armed conflict in the English-speaking regions of Cameroon. This Monday, December 6, 2021, a homemade bomb blast occurred at the supermarket in Boya. And the Bamenda-based Reverend Apostle has added his voice to multitude of others around Cameroon who cast doubt on whether President Paul Biya is actually told the truth about happenings surrounding the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. And at least 11 persons are reported to have died at the weekend following an intra-community conflict in Logon and Share division, far north region of Cameroon. Scores of others are actually battling between life and 13 hospitals. Those were major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. The city of Boya in the southwest region of Cameroon has in recent weeks seen numerous incidents of violence associated to the ongoing conflicts in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. This Monday, December 6, a homemade bomb blast occurred at the supermarket in Boya. It is the first bomb explosion recorded in the past 5 weeks. The details with Ines Ondwambala.
Another locally made bomb attack has been recorded this Monday goes down in Boya. It was at about 8 a.m. that the incident occurred at the Great Supermarket.
So here now, friend is for that side, so they don't drop some back. Then people they start also they ask us wait. Before one sinner, one person they wrote the police passport. He dragged the back. Now live up there. Say now the person a bomb. So now pass to Jack and Nako, market master the halai say no me no risk in life. Me live up there. And if market master no the halai, they if will die. Because just as he leaves the back, he won't shake the back, he explode.
Although no human casualty was recorded, here are some of the damages caused by the improvised explosive device.
It was not here. It was as he was pulling it. He went and dropped it.
After the two explosions, which has as main target taxi drivers, and that of the University of Boya, which left 11 students wounded, the supermarket explosion is the fourth of its kind, recorded in 5 weeks.
I start by thanking God, who has made it that casualties were not recorded. To thank the population, especially the traders who in the market who collaborated and those who saw it and alerted us. We want to say that those who are doing it, they should rethink. I've always said all lives matter. When you place it, you don't know who will be the victim. It could be your sister, it could be your friend, it could be any person. Again, I want to condemn it and condemn it totally on behalf of the population of Boya. And for those who have indulged in doing this act, let's tell them again and again that our resolve for peace and for love and development and for this country cannot be shaken by acts of this nature.
The population of Boya will continue to go about their daily activities, remain vigilant, as no one knows the time and the place the next incident will occur.
A multi-purpose center for ex-separatist fighters has finally seen the light of the day in the southwest region of Cameroon. The Southwest DDR Center, which goes operational, was inaugurated by Afa Yengo Francis. It comes after a series of protests of ex-separatist fighters demanding better working conditions. More with Ines Ondwambala.
Located in the outskirts of Tico, the multi-purpose center of the DDR Southwest is constructed on a 3-hectare surface area.
It's actually closed. You have 6 dormitory completely closed. You have the church, you have the IG, the hospital, you have the official administrative office, okay, and you have the workshop which is closed and the refectory. Now we are closing with the external work and we try to make a better place for the guys who will come here.
Construction work, which began last March, ended after 9 months. The project is today received by the National Coordinator of the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Center.
This center is within the investment program that the head of state put in place for the DDR. It's within the investment program. What does that mean? First, the structures. Secondly, the equipment which is on the way. Thirdly, the training, formation, and then, of course, the settlement, the teaching settlement of the expertise. So this is how I situate this center that we yesterday.
Henceforth, ex-fighters of the Anglophone crisis in the Southwest region will be lodged here. The Southwest DDR Center offers many facilities for the reintegration of those who have abandoned the bushes and laid down weapons to reintegrate the society.
We'll be able to get into more attractive trades like plumbing, welding, glassworks, building construction, and the rest. Is that this center will go a long way to meet the expectations of the ex-fighters, who are the principal beneficiaries, and of course fulfill the vision of the head of state in creating the DDR Center.
Except, Extrait 3. It is a dream come true to beneficiaries who in the past staged protests to demand better living conditions.
A Bamenda-based pastor has joined his voice to a multitude in and around Cameroon who cast doubt on whether President Paul Biya is actually told the truth on happenings in the northwest regions of Cameroon. On his way from a crusade into, he was surprised with gendarmes who refused him from passing through the Kumbu stretch, which has been blocked for a very long time now by separatist fighters. More on the story with Gladys Ziba.
A church leader in Bamenda has remarked with dismay that some people are taking delight in the sufferings of the masses in the several years blockade on the Bamenda-Kambe road. The pastor of Champions International House of Prayers made a declaration to a jubilant crowd of followers who turned out to receive him from a 4-day evangelical mission in Du, in the Ndonga-Mantum division of the Northwest region, with a surprising remark that he was blocked from using the stretch that links Kumbu to Ndu by the gendarmes instead of separatist fighters, as many would think. After about 1 hour argument with the men in uniform around Tatum, the evangelical delegation had no option but to go back to Ndu and do the round trip through parts of the West region, notably Bafoussam and Buda, before making it to Bamenda.
The message should be clear to all Cameroonians and the message should go even to the head of state, that those who are doing the work might not be giving him the rightful information that he needs to receive, because this is the church that went to open the road so that God's souls, and so that we can gradually move to justice and peace that we are seeking for, but we were returned back by the forces of law and order.
During a brief spontaneous prayer session, he prayed the Almighty to touch the hearts of those who matter for a peaceful resolution of the already 5-year-old deadly crisis in the Northwest and Southwest regions.
And the university town of Bambili, still in the northwest region of Cameroon, has been thirsty for some time. And now the water supply system of the early 80s can no longer do the job for the predominantly increased student population following the creation of the university 10 years ago. Villagers met over the weekend to raise funds. Gladys Ambo-Dibang with the rest of that story.
Following an exponential rise in the student and other demographic pressure brought to bear on the university town of Bambili in Mezam division of the Northwest region, the potable water supply system of the early 80s is no longer sufficient for the over 45,000 souls. To complement government's action in social amenities, the villagers, through the Bambili Development Association, is taking the bull by the horns in a fundraiser over the weekend in the Funds Palace.
We have to do the damming and then pipe to a structure which we call a sedimentation unit. There, in this structure, all the particles, impurities that accompany the raw water will be settled.
Contributions came in from the administration, the 5th Joint Military Region, and other collective and individual potential beneficiaries like 14-year-old Kewo Cynthia, who sacrificed her 500 francs pocket allowance to write her name in the history books of a peaceful Bambili in a turbulent Tuba subdivision.
Water is life. You can move on foot to any area, but when you lack water, you cannot live. So we are trying to start with water and to portray our loyalty to the government and ask for other amenities.
Because this water project can only be conducted if there is peace. And potable water is very important to our community, Bambili community, and the other neighboring villages.
So we think that if the government can take another giant step, they have been doing a lot, but they should not relent their efforts and see how they can come to a table so that we can have a lasting solution for this social unrest where we are experiencing.
The first drops of the 300 cubic meter water project is expected to run through the pipes in a few months from now.
At least 11 persons are reported to have died over the weekend following an intra-community conflict in the Logon and Shari division, far north region of Cameroon. Scores of others are currently battling between life and death in local hospitals. According to witnesses, the problem ignited from a dispute between fishermen and cattle breeders. As we hear more in the following story. On the streets that link up several communities to Logon Beni in the far north region of Cameroon, and lifeless bodies of persons victims of the intra-community conflict. Panic and the fear of the known is omnipresent. Many like these businessmen are trying to trace the root cause of the intra-community conflicts. He tells me it all started in the forest and gradually extended to villages. It is a war between the fishermen and cattle rearers. According to some locals, the intra-community conflict in Logon, Benin resurfaced over the weekend in the localities of Mariam and Ulumsa, located some 3 kilometers from the town of Logon. Reports hold that the fight ignited from an argument around a cattle track between the cattle breeders and fishermen, which quickly degenerated. This time around, the conflict involved the Arab and the Mansa communities, which the Muslims supported. The Mansa brothers. 11 persons died on the spot, 6 on the Arab side and 5 on the Muslim side, while scores of others incurred injuries and were quickly rushed to the Logon hospital for treatment. Meantime, the Kidam village remains the most affected in terms of casualties, as part of the village was completely burnt down. This forced the population to flee for safety to neighboring Chad. This man tells me his entire family had to rush to Chad for safety. A
A day after, unrelative calm still reigns, even after governments had dispatched troops to reinforce security. The divisional officer also held crisis meetings to calm down tempers and seek lasting solutions. But the two communities had refused to bury their hatchets and promised hell for each other. Tension remains high as the three Arab communities, Musgum and Mansa, are still mobilizing to embark on other clashes, and the bloodbath continues.
As you hear in that report, the bloodbath continues, and the governor of the Far North region has reacted. Let's take a listen.
Yesterday, around 11 o'clock, at a place called Miriam, a village called Miriam and Ulumsa, not far from the chief staff of district officer, that's Logon Bernier. And so far, we got 8 persons died and 19 injured. But some of them are directed to the hospital and they are beneficiaries of care, well health care. What can be said is we just call each and every one to avoid such conflicts because we have more and more investors who are coming. Right now, we have the World Bank who are here in the field to go and follow up what can be done. Billion of francs CFA has been put in place to accompany cotton product, farmers, traders, and so forth and so on.
Governor of the Far North region reacting there to the intra-community conflicts in the Logon and Share division, Far North region of Cameroon. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Newscast on Canal de International. Thanks so much for watching. We have news in the French language at exactly this 9h50. We currently have a debrief that is coming up with Buban Gomna. So we'll be back same time tomorrow. Good night.